Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off lying down. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Open your knees away from each other. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, and start to bring your focus to the movement of your breath. Feel your belly and your chest rise with every breath in. And with every exhale, feel your belly and chest deflate. Bring your hands to the outsides of your thighs. Close your knees in like a book. Pull your right knee in towards your chest and grab the outside of your right foot while you extend your left leg for a one-legged happy baby. And then release that and come back into it again. So we're just kind of dynamically stretching, pulling into your happy baby, one-legged happy baby for just a couple of seconds, and then releasing. We take this about 5 times. A couple seconds of stretch and then some release. And then after your 5th time, hold the one-legged happy baby. Reach your left arm up overhead. Continue to push both of your hips down into the ground. And now take your right leg across your body so your left hand can grab your right foot. Now try to keep your right butt bone down to the ground and just bring the leg across your body so you're really targeting into the outer IT band. Breathe into this space. Pull the leg back to center and then release, and we'll take all of that on the second side. So pull your left knee in towards your left armpit, catch your foot with your hand. Pull for a couple of seconds and then release. And then just continue that. Pull for a couple of seconds and then release. Find that nice stretch, your one-legged happy baby, maybe feeling a little more into the front of your right hip flexor. And then after your 5th time, hold the foot. Hold the stretch for a few moments. And reach your right arm up overhead. When you reach your right arm up overhead, you may feel a little more of a pull into the front of your right hip flexor. Now take your right hand to your left foot and bring your left foot across your body just a little bit. So try to keep your left hip down to the mat. So this is less of a twist and it's more of an IT band opener through the left side. Breathe into your chest, breathe into your belly, and then bring your leg back out to the side. One more time, maybe extend your right arm up overhead, find that nice stretch, that nice opening. And now pull both of your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze, grab hold of fingers or wrists or forearms. Pull your head up towards your knees, wrap into a tiny little ball, and start to rock and roll yourself upright. We're moving into a tabletop position. Bring your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Open your right knee out to the side and now pull your right knee up towards your right tricep and then extend your right leg straight back behind you. We're going to take that about 5 times total. Pulling the knee to the tricep and then extending. And so you're going to feel a little bit of activation into the right hip flexor, maybe a little bit of compression there. That's what we're going for today. Finding a little bit of compression into that hip flexor and then finding some release. And after your 5th time, keep your leg extended back long behind you. And now bend through your right knee and open your hip. Lift your right hip. You can rotate your left ankle. Bring your right toes down to the ground. So it's kind of like a flip dog moment, just an opportunity to open through the fronts of your hips. Push down into your bottom left hand. Take one more breath. And then revolve yourself back to your tabletop all fours position. We're going to take all of that on the second side. So starting with your left knee out to the side, pull your left knee up towards your left tricep and then extend your left leg back long behind you. And we take this 5 times total, just starting to build a little bit of compression into the left hip flexor. That strength can help with any very slow movements, especially in ballet when we're doing adagio or développés. But more than that, this hip flexor strength also emanates into your core, and that's a great way to stabilize, whether you're on stage or in your everyday life. All right, we're gonna rotate this, open, rotate your right shin, push your hips open while you bring your left toes down to the ground. Open through the chest, just let your left arm be super heavy. And then slowly move yourself back to tabletop position. Flip your toes under, find downward facing dog. Take a few moments to move around here. You could pedal through your feet, spread your fingers nice and wide, maybe take some movement in the head. Find those nice big breaths again, and then lift your right leg up. Keep your hands pushing down into the ground. Step your right foot so it comes outside of your right hand. Keep your back knee lifted and bring your chest forward. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, find an easy twist, and then bend your right elbow, bring it behind your head, and try to point your elbow up to the ceiling. This will allow your chest to open even a little further. Bring your right hand inside of your right foot, step your left foot forward into an active squat. Your heels are in, your toes are out, lift your arms up. So try not to let your hips come all the way down. This is a little more active. Power to stand, straighten your legs. Find a little back bend here, push the hips forward, open through the chest. Come right back down into your power squat. Bring your hands down to the ground. Once again, step your left foot far back behind you. Step your right foot far back, you're in a high plank position. Hold and breathe in your high plank, starting to build some heat in your core. Bend your knees, send your hips back into a beast pose. And slide forward, high plank. We repeat, bend your knees, send the hips back, knees are lifted. High plank position. Keep moving through these two postures, starting to build a little more heat in the core and through the fronts of the legs. Downward facing dog. We repeat, second side. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Push your palms into the ground. Now step your left foot so it comes outside of your left hand. Keep your back knee lifted for a moment. Think of lifting your chest forward. Keep your right hand down. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling for your twist. Bend your left elbow, bring your hand behind your head. And with your hand behind your head, really try to peel your heart open to the ceiling as you press down into your bottom right hand. Breathe in. Exhale, bring your left hand inside of your left foot. Step your right foot forward into your power squat. Knees are deeply bent, reach your arms up overhead. Straighten your knees, stand up, power stand. From there, find just a small back bend, push your hips forward, lift open through your heart. And exhale, come back to your squat, hands to heart center. Bring your hands down to the ground. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back, move back into a high plank. We move through these beasts again, 3 of these. Bend your knees, send your hips back to your heels. Slide forward, high plank. 2 more times, bend the knees, hips back. Slide forward, high plank. Last one, bend the knees, send the hips back. High plank to downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna take that sequence a few more times, moving a little quicker. Lift your right leg high. Step your right foot outside of your right hand, reach your right arm up. Bring your right hand back down, step your left foot forward into your squat. Reach your arms up overhead. Come to stand, find a little back bend. Hands to prayer, back to squat, hands to the mat. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back, high plank. Move through your beast, bend your knees, hips go back. Just one of those, slide to high plank, move to downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, lift your left leg high. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling, 1 breath in. Exhale, left hand down. Step your right foot forward, you're in your squat. Reach your arms up overhead, hips are low. Stand up, push the hips forward, lift the chest. Exhale, squat, hands to prayer. Hands down, step your right foot back, step your left foot back, high plank. Take 1 beast pose, bend the knees, send the hips back. Slide to high plank, move to downward facing dog. 1 more time each side. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Step your right foot so it comes outside of your right hand. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, breath in. Exhale, hand down. Step your left foot forward, squat position. Inhale, lift your arms up. Stand up, push through your feet, lift your chest. Hands to prayer, squat, hands to the ground. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back, high plank. Bend your knees, send your hips to beast pose. High plank, downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, lift your left leg high. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. Reach your left arm up. Bring your left hand down. Step your right foot forward. Squat, reach your arms up. Stand up, push your hips forward, lift the chest. Back to squat. Lower your hands, step your right foot back. Step your left foot back, high plank. Bend your knees, send your hips to your heels. High plank, downward facing dog. Take a few moments of breath in this downward facing dog. Bring your gaze up towards your hands. Walk your feet forward into your ragdoll forward fold. Bend your knees and slowly roll yourself up to stand. Shift your weight to your left foot and pull your right knee up towards your right armpit. Catch the outside of your right shin. Lift your left arm up and then start to tip your body forward. Extend both arms forward, right and left, and then extend your right leg back long behind you, and then pull your knee to your elbow. Similar to how we did on all fours, but now we're obviously adding more of a balance element. Have a little bit of a bend through your bottom knee. We take this 5 times. We're finding that compression through the right hip flexor and finding some activation into the right oblique. Keep the knee pulled in, grab the top of the shins, stand back up. You could keep a hold of your shin, or you could grab your right toe and try to extend it out to the right side. And then maybe try to release the toe for just a few seconds and then bend back in, bring it down. All right, we're gonna switch that to the other side. Take a few moments just to jog it out. And now shift all of your weight over towards your right foot. Pull your left knee up towards your left armpit. Pitch your torso forward and extend both arms long in front of you. Extend your left leg long behind you. Now 5 times, pull your left knee towards your left armpit. Activate your left oblique. Find balance through your bottom right foot. Take a soft bend through your bottom right knee. Feel this activation after your 5th time. Hold the connection. Maybe grab the shin, come back up to stand. You could stay there, or you could grab your big toe with your left peace fingers and try to extend your left leg. Maybe even try to release your foot. Just find a moment with your leg up to the side in the air. And then bring your foot back down to the ground. And then just take a second just to kind of jog it out, let it go. We're gonna take things back down. Separate your feet about mat's width distance, toes out, heels in. Send your hips all the way down, as low as you can. So before, we were in more of an active squat, but now we're taking a lower squat if possible. If your hips are still up pretty high in the air, that's okay. Find the squat that you can find. Push your palms together and actively press your triceps into your knees to encourage your knees open to the side. Sit up really, really tall. Take one more big breath in and then slowly start to come all the way down onto your butt bones. And then slowly, gently lower onto your back. Grab one hand to one knee and start to draw opposing circles using your hands with your knees so you're finding a little bit of lubrication into the hip joint. You take like 3 to 5 circles in one direction, 3 to 5 circles in the other direction. Just finding some nice lubrication there. We're gonna move into a full happy baby. Catch the insides or outsides of your feet. Pull your knees to your armpits. Think of pressing your lower spine down into the ground. And just as we found at the beginning of the practice, think of puffing up into your chest when you breathe in this posture. Take big breaths in, full big breaths out. And now release, bring your feet down to the ground. We're gonna move into a bridge pose. Separate your feet hips width distance and then push your hips up. If you'd like, you could shimmy your shoulders together and interlace your fingers. That's gonna give you a little more of a heart expander. Push down a lot into your feet. Push down into the bind of your hands if you've got that bind. Open through the front of your chest, open through the front of your hips, doing pretty much the opposite we've been doing for the rest of the series. Take one more breath, and then lower your hips nice and slow back down to the ground. We're gonna end the same way we began. Bring the bottoms of your feet together, let your knees open, bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Maybe allow your eyes to close. And come back to that breath that we established at the beginning of the practice. Full big breaths in and full big breaths out. Every exhale, allow yourself to sink a little bit heavier into the mat. Thank you for joining us. And that's your flow.